Bum, 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 bum. I don't want any copyright. Bum, 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 bum. In 2005, TT Games were tasked with making a LEGO Star Wars game, officially being named LEGO Star Wars: The Video Game. The game was a collection of some of the most iconic scenes in the prequel trilogy remade into LEGO. Based on its massive success with over 6 million copies sold, a year later, TT Games released a sequel titled LEGO Star Wars 2: The Original Trilogy. This game consisted of a collection of all the best scenes from the original trilogy, also remade into LEGO. Just a year after this game was released, TT Games and LucasArts had an epiphany that if they put both LEGO Star Wars 1 and 2 into one game, everybody would love it and buy it. Well, they were right. LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga was officially released in 2007 on various platforms and contained all 6 films, plus additional content that was never featured in the original 2 games. This game is probably the most loved of the 3 because whether you loved the LEGO Star Wars 1 or 2, The Complete Saga had it all, so no one had anything to complain about. By the time you're watching this video, LEGO Star Wars: The SKYWALKER SAGA should be out or close to coming out. This is a complete remake of all 9 films, including the 6 that were featured in The Complete Saga. With this game coming out, which I'm very excited for, I want to see if The Complete Saga still holds up today, or if my nostalgia glasses are still blinding me. The SKYWALKER Saga will modernize everything, so I'm curious if the original games will still be superior, or if the SKYWALKER Saga will finally take the throne for the best LEGO Star Wars game. Okay, let's talk about the story. When TT Games was tasked with bringing all 6 films into a LEGO game, they went an interesting route. Since there were so many limitations with it being a LEGO game, TT Games decided to make a parody of all 6 films. With no voice acting, there was a lot of visual gags and jokes making fun of the movies without overdoing it. However, with the lack of voice acting, most of the jokes in the games required prior knowledge to all of the Star Wars movies. In LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, the entire game is voice acted.
There's a droid on the scanner. Might be the R2 unit.
This is the case so that people unfamiliar with movies can still enjoy the game for what it is. TT Games were even nice enough to include a mumble mode for the Skywalker Saga, which brings the game back to its roots with more tongue-in-cheek comedy so many old players remember from the early LEGO games. With this being a LEGO game released back in 2007, the levels couldn't recreate a one-to-one copy of the movie sets, so the game took the most iconic parts from each movie and made them into levels. In the Complete Saga, each episode has 6 levels, or 6 iconic moments from each movie. Honestly, these were a blast to play through, and even if you don't get the jokes from lacking Star Wars knowledge, you can still very much enjoy the game for what it is. Or, you can just go watch the movies. Trust me, you won't be that guy lost in conversation when your friends start talking Star Wars and you have no idea what's going on. But if you really don't care about the story, then maybe you would find the game a lot more fun and replayable with free play. LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga has a ton of replayability value. When you first boot up the game, you can select any of the 6 movies to start playing from. When you enter each episode, however, you have to play the missions in order first, as the rest are locked until you beat them in the story mode. After beating missions in story mode, you unlock free play. In free play, you get to go back to any mission you've already played and play as any unlocked character you desire. When selection is finalized, the game automatically assigns you a group of characters from every in-game class that you can seamlessly switch between during the level. With free play, you can go back to old levels and unlock many things and access many secrets you previously were unable to in story mode, allowing for massive replayability. You can run levels you've played multiple times only to find more things you've missed every time. With LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga moving away from hub areas like the Cantina in favor of a semi-open world experience, they're handling free play a bit differently. Instead of selecting your free play characters before entering a mission, it seems like you will be able to switch to every character you have unlocked at any time. Now, I don't know this is fact, but based on what we've seen, it seems like you'll have more freedom in choosing what characters you play as and when. On top of free play, there are a ton of extra things to do in the game. There's a room in the Cantina full of extra levels you can unlock by acquiring enough golden bricks to unlock them. These span from deleted levels to the holy LEGO City. LEGO City is essentially this children's playground of LEGOs where you get to just mess around and destroy everything. It's actually a lot of fun. If you don't want to play LEGO City, then you can unlock bounty hunting missions where you're sent back by Jabba to older missions as a bounty hunter to hunt down different characters. If you get bored of bounty hunting, try creating your own character. Every time you unlock a new character, their LEGO parts are added to the character creator where you can create your very own LEGO figures to play as in the game. You can make almost anything you put your mind to, and it can be a lot of goofy fun. This game offers so much beyond its linear story missions in the beginning, and you can find yourself getting lost in the game for hours. Do you know what else you can get lost in for hours? The art style. Okay, that means we're moving on. LEGO Star Wars has a very unique and well-received art style that still holds up today. In fact, almost all LEGO games are praised for their art style and ability to hold up to modern-day games. LEGO games have a simple plastic look to them that actually works very well and helps them not look too dated. LEGO games only require simple geometry and reflections, which may explain why we were getting LEGO games left and right so often. Pretty easy to make games that can be pumped out so often and make a lot of money is something that most people would not brush off. With modern LEGO games, you see less and less of them often with their releases. This could be either due to the lack of interest or a much extended amount of time that it takes to develop a new LEGO game. Looking at the new games, you can clearly see that they look a lot better than the old ones and are way more intricate in their gameplay and design. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is just going to look better than all the other LEGO games because it is the newest and it uses the newest technology. Even with the Skywalker Saga coming out, this doesn't mean you should brush off the old LEGO games because they don't look as good. They still hold up very well in almost every aspect and are always worth giving a shot. One part you'll definitely see improved upon is the set pieces. In most LEGO games, a lot of the set pieces are not actually made out of Legos but normal textures. You can definitely see and point out the low quality textures of the older games as they are very apparent and noticeable. The Skywalker Saga has clearly improved on this and it will be nice to see a bit updated. A few LEGO games in the past have made everything out of Lego, for example, the LEGO Movie video game. Since the idea behind the LEGO movie is that everything is Lego, everything in the game is Lego. It's really cool to see how an entire world made out of Lego looks in a game, but can also be very distracting at times. I think choosing not to go this route with the Skywalker Saga was a good move, and it stays more true to its predecessor and honestly looks better in my opinion. LEGO's art style has always been good, and you can't admire it fully without appreciating its pioneer with the original 3 Star Wars games. Overall, LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga is a great and fun game that still stands the test of time. Some of the visuals may be a bit dated from time to time, but the gameplay, atmosphere, humor, and pure joy when playing this game is unmatched. I very much look forward to LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga when it releases on April 5th. Even though the game is a complete recreation of the Complete Saga and it looks like it differs heavily from it, I'm still all in for a new adventure that takes me down a new road in my LEGO Star Wars journey. It will be interesting to see how much the Skywalker Saga differs from the original and if I enjoy it more or less comparatively. Whatever the outcome of the game is, the old LEGO games will still be here if the Skywalker Saga doesn't stand on its own. If you manage to watch this before or after playing the Skywalker Saga, I strongly recommend you play through the Complete Saga or any of the old LEGO games for that matter. Even with the new generation of LEGO games, it's always nice to go back to see where it started and why people love these games for so many years. LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga, you complete me. Aww.